faithfully discharge my duties
that I will faithfully discharge my duties
of the office of Governor of the State of New York
of the office of Governor of the State of New York
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. You'll soon find that brevity is the hallmark of my administration. I also want to thank everyone for joining us this morning, and particularly Chief Judge DiFiore, who graced me by wearing the same robe that was worn by the first female Court of Appeals judge, Judith Case. So there is some symbolism in her attire this morning as well. Also, I want to thank Pastor Solomon Dees from Wilborn Temple for gracing us and reminding us of the presence of God here today. I've worshiped with him a number of times, and I wanted him to bless this gathering and bless my administration. I also want to thank our leadership who's here today. Our Assembly Speaker, Carl Heastie, Majority Leader of the Senate, my great friend, Andre Stewart Cousins. We've been on a long journey together, and I so look forward to continuing the relationships that we've had, but even deepening it. So thank you, and I look forward to a conversation with you on the pressing issues of the day immediately following. And of course, my family, my beloved husband, Bill, who's been at my side for 37 years, my children, Will, Katie, and their beautiful spouses, wonderful people, Matt and Christina. I also have a large extended family here, so sorry to you in the back. I came from a big Irish Catholic family with 6 kids, but I do want to acknowledge my parents. My father is here representing in spirit my mother. Dad, I'm so honored to see you and that you could make the journey here today, as well as my siblings. So this is an emotional moment for me, but it is one that I prepared for, and I'm so looking forward to continuing the work we have to do. To that end, I spoke with President Biden last night to talk about a number of issues. He pledged his full support to my administration in anything we need. Particularly, I thanked him for the support we've received from FEMA and others in terms of cleaning up after Henri and how we were prepared, and I'm going to continue assessing the situation. I do want to thank the people whose lives were disrupted, as well as those who responded not just to that crisis, but those who continue to fight on the front lines as we fight this deadly pandemic. I also want to thank the hundreds of thousands of state workers who I have such respect for, and I look forward to letting them know that I will represent them with my heart and soul as well. They are the face of government in many, many communities, and I have my utmost respect for all of them. So I just want to tell you briefly, I'll be sharing a number of my priorities with all of you if you would reconvene again at 3 o'clock today. I'll be also talking about how we'll be combating COVID, getting direct aid to New Yorkers more quickly, and changing the culture of Albany. And that's why I'm looking forward to a fresh collaborative approach. It's how I've always conducted myself. It'll be nothing new for me, but it's something I'm planning on introducing to the state capitol. So I'll be heading to a meeting very shortly with our leaders here. We have much to discuss. We'll be reporting on that afterward. But at this time, I'll take a few questions, and let me call on Marina from AP right now. Marina?
Hi, Governor Hochul. Do you think that there's another mechanism for people who want more accountability for former Governor Cuomo, like appointing a special prosecutor?
I'm going to leave that in the hands of the Assembly. They've been conducting themselves with great professionalism, and I'm going to allow the continuation of the separation of branches of government and allow them to do their work. Bernadette from the Post.
Hi, Governor. Thank you. Wondering, rent is obviously a massive issue right now in the state. What can be done to get more money out the door to the provisionally approved applications quickly, as fewer than a quarter of households that are both rent burden and low income in New York City have applications in according to the state comptroller, but was
Bernadette, you've hit on one of my top priorities. You'll be hearing more about that this afternoon, but it'll continue a multifaceted approach, deploying more people to the crisis, realizing that there's many people who have not been even aware that they have these resources available to them, and connecting them with the landlords. So I will be assembling a team of individuals beginning today to assess this, but to wait not 1 second longer in terms of how we get this relief out to people. It's there. It needs to be in their hands so they can start getting their lives back in order and reducing some of the incredible stress that these families and individuals are under. It's absolutely unnecessary. Rami from Univision, you here as well, Rami?
Yes,
Okay.
we want to know what is going to happen with skilled workers, the days to coming, and also we want to know if your cabinet or your staff is going to be part of them and minority groups.
Well, we're doing quite a bit of reach out, and I'll be identifying my administration, the members, as time goes on. I've requested and granted myself a 40-day, 5-day transition period. I think everyone understands that I needed to assemble my 2 constitutional officers immediately, which I have announced, and these are incredible individuals with great integrity and a lot of government experience. I want people who know what they're doing surrounding me, and I'll listen to their advice. And so I have my secretary, Karen Keogh, has been identified, as well as Elizabeth Fine as counsel, but I believe in a fully diverse cabinet, and that is going to be a high priority. With respect to the excluded worker program, I'm going to go at that with the same intensity that I am with this rental program. The money's there. These people were not eligible for other forms of assistance, and they're hurting, and they're part of the New York family, and I'm going to make that very clear. So making sure we deal with that. Bob McCarthy, Buffalo News.
Good morning, Governor. Is there one particular project, one particular big thing that you would like to accomplish as governor?
I want people to believe in their government again. It's important to me that people have faith. Our strength comes from the faith and the confidence of the people who put us in these offices, and I take that very seriously. Andrew from NBC4, please.
Yes, Governor, thank you very much. You talked about the spirit of collaboration. I know you have spoken with Mayor de Blasio, but throughout the pandemic, the mayor and Governor Cuomo almost never appeared in the same room, despite the fact that their interests could have and should have been aligned. How soon can we expect to see you sitting at a joint news conference with Mayor de Blasio? And do you agree with his decision to mandate vaccines for teachers in New York City? Will you do that for teachers all across the state?
I'll be making announcements about that later today, as well as throughout the week, because I have a chance to assemble all the stakeholders now that I am officially governor, and I have the ability to work with them. I'll also be discussing this with our leadership from the Assembly and the Senate. This is what collaboration looks like. I have sat down unofficially with Mayor de Blasio. We had some very nice pastries last week and had a great conversation, and he actually called me prior to his announcement yesterday to alert me, and we talked about this era of cooperation, that there's be no blindsiding. There'll be just full cooperation, because I need his best and brightest integrated with my best and brightest, and that's how we'll get through this. And for me, that's just a simple approach. It's what I've always done. But if I can invite you back later this afternoon at 3 o'clock, I'll have a chance to address more thoroughly the issues that were raised this morning, as well as some of my other priorities. So thank you very much, and I appreciate everyone coming out today.